and welcome to my channel. My name is Abdullah Kamil, and today I'm going to be showing you a template that I designed and it's called Personal Budget. And the reason that I designed this template is because I looked through Microsoft website trying to find a personal budget template, and I didn't really find anything useful. All of them are lacking something, and some of them are really just rubbish. Anyway, so I decided to take on this challenge, but the way I work, the way I design templates is, I need to have a goal. Okay, I need to have something to achieve. Okay, a reason why I'm doing this. Okay, so I thought, why anybody wants to design personal budget template? For me, the only reason is to save money, and probably the second reason is just to know where does your money go, because all of us has been there when suddenly you think, okay, where did my money go? What did I spend my money on? Okay, so but basically it's just to save money. Okay, so the way I design templates is to keep that goal always in the back of my head, always something, like a beacon, something that I want to get to. Anyway, so the first thing is always separate your input from your output. Okay, and by the way, before we get any further, what I'm going to be showing you is how the philosophy of designing this template and how it works. What I'm not going to be showing you is how to create it yourself from scratch. And the reason for that, not because I don't want to do it, but because it takes almost an hour. The video will be an hour long probably, okay, if we're going to go through everything. Okay, and I think that's a long time for a video. But if I find a lot of people want to actually have a video about it and how to actually create it from scratch, I'll probably do it for you guys. Okay, but meanwhile, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna provide the link in the description for this video, where you can actually download this template, use it, share it, do whatever you want with it, change it, maybe even feedback me on maybe some improvement that you want to add to it maybe. Okay, the other thing that we want to actually agree on here is just you might disagree with some of my calculations here, because people are different. Okay, for me, I'm always keeping that beacon, as I told you, saving money. For me, saving money includes having these visuals that you see in front of you available, always. As long as I can see something like this in front of me, I can, save money, I can spend less. Okay, for you, things might be different. All right, so let's start with the input. Okay, as we said, separate your input from the dashboard or from your reports, from your insights, from your outputs. Okay, the input, you need to simplify it as much as possible. This is the way I work always. I think of any template that I design as an app, right? So you need to simplify the input as much as possible and enrich, on the other hand, the outputs. Okay, make them as big as possible, as complex as possible. Go wild. All right, so the input is actually just 3 columns. Okay, and those 3 columns you can probably get from your online bank account, or you just enter them yourself. Okay, so okay, so we have the expenses, but we also have the income in the same table, and this is a strategic move to kind of simplify the process. And the month and year columns here, they are calculations, and everything else here, they are also calculations, just to help us produce these graphs. Okay, the only other input that I might add is just the starting balance. And this is basically how much money did you have when you started, using the template. Okay, this is your starting balance. Okay, a disclaimer. All of the numbers here that you see, they are random numbers that are not my expenses or anybody else's. Okay, they are randomly generated using the random between functions. Okay. Anyway, so going back to the dashboard. Okay, the things that I think are important. Okay, are income year to date. I want always to have an idea of how much income I had from the beginning of the year until now, okay? And I need to see the year, okay, the current year. And it's telling me now it's 2017, okay? Same goes for expenses year to date and current balance. I want to know how much expenses I had year to date and how much, my current balance is at the moment. Okay, this table is also important to me. I want to know how much money I spent on each category year to date. Okay, so I know the total of my expenses here, which is 40,000, almost 15,000, but I want them broken down by expense category. Okay, the other column here, I want to have an idea on how much did I spend on each expense category this month, okay? And the last column here, I need to have an idea how much I spend on each category in the previous month. That's important for me because it will give me, a soft cap that I can always, keep in mind, watch for, not to exceed, So if I can manage, to hit the end of the month with, less expenses this month, in a certain category compared to previous month, then I'm making improvements. Thus, I'm saving money. So, as I told you, it's always look for that beacon, always keep it in the back of your head. Okay, the next chart here, the biggest, thing that I want to look at is, the total expenses this month. So this chart, is basically just showing expenses for this month. So showing me the total here, and the colors here for the donut chart is showing me what is the biggest, what's taking up the biggest chunk of my, monthly expenses. And as you can see here, it's groceries, okay? The next chart here is something also I want to know, to be able to save money, is an idea of how my expenses compare to my income for each month, okay? So as long as I have some green shading here, and it's, as you can see here, choosing this chart, and it's not a stacked chart. These are just columns on top of each other. Okay, so expenses will be filling up, the income chart. So as long as I have green shading, I'm in good shape. If I don't have any green shading in a certain month, then I didn't do good in that month. This is what it means, period. Okay. And all of these months are for the current year. Okay, it's something to keep in mind. And this is what I want. This is what I want to see. Maybe for you, things will be different. Maybe you want to see 2 months back, maybe you want something like this. I don't know. The last chart that you see here is the waterfall chart, and the waterfall chart for me is important because it will give me a quick snapshot on my financials year to date. Okay, it's just telling me very quickly, did I save money or not? Okay. So it's showing me the year start balance, it's showing me the total income year to date, it's showing me the total expenses year to date. And the last column here is showing me the current balance. So as long as my current balance is actually bigger than my year start balance, then I'm in good shape. I'm saving money. If my current balance is less than my year start balance, then I'm not in a good shape. I'm in a bad shape. I'm using up my savings. And this is in no way a situation I would like to be in. okay, and I should do something about it, okay. So I left some blank areas here because I'm sure I will have, new ideas in the future, maybe for new charts, for things that become more important now than before, right? So what has been maybe important for me before, maybe now is not as important. New things might come up. An example of that is if you have 3 years worth of data, and suddenly you can look at the chart here and say, oh, I don't have anything that's comparing year to year. And something that you want to have, because you want to see over the years, are you improving? Are you moving in the right direction? Did your income increase, for example, or your income is decreasing? Or so you start adding a new chart as you go along, but with the goal in mind to save money, or maybe to make more money. That's something also that you need to think about. Okay, so always look for that beacon. Anyway, so this is what I think you should know about the template so far. There are a lot of good templates, a lot of good ideas here on how to design it. And I would actually advise you to always protect your dashboard or a report. You can call it whatever you want here. Protect it, but don't use a password. So if we protect it here, remove everything, so nothing can be changed or even selected, okay? And don't put a password and click OK. It will be protected. You cannot select anything. Oh, there's actually something weird happened. Anyway, so when you protect it, that selection should go away, actually. Yeah, it's gone away. So, so you cannot change anything here. All right. So, okay, I think we hit the end of the video. So, I'll put the link, as I promised, in the description. Feel free to download it, share it, and if you have any feedback on it, anything that you think might improve the template, give me a shout, and I'll see what I can do. And if you want me to make a video on how to make it from scratch, please again put a comment on the video. So in the end, thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you next time.